Welcome, everyone. As you may have noticed, we've had some changes. What was the Warrior Commission has now become the Calling Ground. I'm Meagan Blessing. I've been a member of the Warrior Commission since 2019, and I am absolutely delighted to now be the creative strategist for the Calling Ground. We have been going through all kinds of changes, all kinds of upgrades. We've been in a time of just waiting on the Lord, trying to figure out what it is that He wanted us to do, what was going to be our next steps. And I don't think any of us knew what exactly that was going to look like. But having gone through it, now we're starting to see what it looks like. And it looks like a new name, it looks like new branding, it looks like a continuation of the mission that we've always had, which is really exciting for us. So, whether you have been part of this community for a long time, some of you have been here longer than me, or whether this is you're new here and you're just trying to figure out what is the calling ground? What are you guys doing? What is this all about? We're very glad that you're here and we would like to welcome you. We wanted to just tell you a little bit about the story behind the name change. We have had an identity as warriors for a very long time. This group has been in existence for 18 years. We love God. We love each other. It's not all that difficult. It's the greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And that is the basis of what we do. But then we step into it a little bit more and we explore our identity. Who really are we? What are we made for? So we've spent a lot of years getting to this point, and now it's very clear that God has a transition in mind for us. And instead of pushing as hard as we have been pushing, we've come to a point where we don't necessarily need to push in the same way. There has been a change of seasons, there's been a change of maybe even mandate, there's been a change of times across the body of Christ and in the world. And we are wanting to be sensitive to how the Lord is working and what He's doing in these times. So, with that in mind, as a community, we have prayed into, Lord, what do you have for us? And it was pretty evident community wide that it was time to change the name of our community. And so, with much prayer and much discernment and much input from everyone, we settled on the calling ground. The calling ground is where preparation happens. The calling ground is a place that you are called to because God draws us into what we're ready for and what we're willing to step into. The first thing that we get to do when we feel the pull to step into something is we get to experience the presence of God. So we learn how to hear God's voice. If you are someone who's never heard the voice of God or you think you haven't, this is something that we practice because God speaks to everyone. He doesn't differentiate who He's going to talk to and who He isn't going to talk to. He loves people, period, all people. And so He talks to everyone. It's just sometimes we don't understand how to hear Him. So we learn how to hear God's voice. We work in community. We were none of us designed to do life alone. And so community is really important. And having a safe space to come and be yourself with all of the processes that you are going through, all of the processes that we are going through, oftentimes that can be a challenging situation. But at the Calling Ground, we really value process, growth in community. People are allowed to be who they are in the process of who they're getting to become. This is a becoming thing. It always was in the Warrior Commission, and it is in the Calling Ground also. We are becoming together. And then once we understand how to hear God's voice, we can start to explore our identity. So, who really are you? Who did God make you to be? What are your gifts and talents? What are the things that spark your interest? How does your heart soar when you're presented with an opportunity? Everybody has their unique gifts and talents and desires, and those are all given by God. These are not things to squash and say, oh, no, we don't want that. We want you to fit into the mold over here. That's not what we do. We say, no, who are you? What are you designed for? Let us help you live that to the fullest. And then the calling. Everybody has a calling. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has something that they are put on this planet to do. And usually we do something to become someone. We think, okay, if I do this XYZ thing over here, I will then become this person. But actually, in the kingdom, it usually works the other way around. You become the person that God always intended for you to be. You actually become the person you already are. And then out of that sense of identity, that confidence, now you are able to do the thing that your heart has always wanted to do. So that's a little bit about our training. We have kept our values. The new website is thecallingground.com, and you can see what's going on there. Some of the different things that we have done is that we have an entirely new platform, online platform. It is a teaching platform. So we are in the process of putting our courses out of just a PDF reader format and into video activations. The training process has not changed. They are still live trainings. So when you go through any of the trainings with the Calling Ground, you will go through a live training with live people. You do some of the work on your own, but then there are monthly Zoom calls. You can access them from wherever you are. If you do happen to miss them, you can get the recording, but we really strongly encourage you to be present because it's only in community that we really can grow and speak into each other's lives, encourage one another on the journey that we're taking. We want to welcome you to the Calling Ground, and I hope that you will continue on with us. If you have questions, please put them in the comments and we will address those questions as we continue to establish the foundations of the next section of what God is doing with our community. We are building on what has already established in the past, but we are doing a little bit of renovating. We're doing a little bit of dreaming and adding to. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so glad you're here.